Alright, what's going on everyone? Throwback again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 2. In this one we're going to be doing one of my absolute favorite episodes of The Walking Dead. We're going to be going over, reviewing, talking about, from today's standpoint, The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 3, Save the Last One. Okay, so this weekend AMC is airing their sort of Dead, White, and Blue marathon. Dead, White, and Blue marathon. So for the 4th of July, where they're basically going over and they're showing every episode of The Walking Dead pretty much all the way from the beginning to the end of The Walking Dead Season 4. So I'm going to continue with my throwback reviews of Season 2, you know, going over those again, kind of just having some fun. Because even still, I enjoy watching episodes of The Walking Dead more than almost any other series. Even though I've seen them a few times or a couple times in a lot of cases, I still enjoy it more than watching a lot of other new shows like Penny Dreadful or The Last Ship, or, you know, I've tried some others recently, tried watching, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to review this. It's just, you know, it's not my thing. So, but with this, I mean, Save the Last One is one of the best episodes ever. And this one is very different from any other episode of The Walking Dead they've ever done, even until today's standpoint. The way it's shot is different, how it's out of chronological order, how character-centric this episode is. This is like Shane's episode. He's got a few throughout the series, but this one in particular is the episode that shows, I want to say, the biggest character development in the series for any character. Yes, including Rick, any of the other episodes we've had. This one takes Shane from sort of his pre-zombie apocalypse state, where he's just struggling to survive, doesn't really know what's happening in the world, and it transforms him into his zombie apocalypse character, into his post-zombie apocalypse form, which a lot of the other characters takes seasons to do. You know, for Rick to let loose, it does take a while. Now, he does have that later on in Nebraska where he kills Dave and Tony at the bar, so that's kind of his episode for that, and we do have other characters that have them, but not like this one. This one is really, really well done, where basically, now I guess spoilers, you put Shane in a situation where he has the opportunity to save Carl. It kind of occurs to him that him and Otis being very overweight, him having sort of a bum leg because of dropping out of the window 20 feet, which was, you know, hurt his leg a bit. His leg's really tweaked. And basically he comes down to a choice where they're being chased by like a herd of zombies, or a lot of zombies. And they're essentially out of ammo, and basically they each have one left. And Shane uses his last shot to shoot Otis in the leg and leave him there as bait. Oh man, so that all the zombies come to him so he can get away. Now, this one, oh man. And also, in addition to how awesome, okay, so they could have done a few things with this episode. They could have just done it in chronological order, and it would have been like, whoa, it would have been incredible right there. But the fact that they took it out of chronological order worked so well in this episode, because before the credits, you have the scene where he's shaving his head. And we're all watching it the first time wondering, like, why is he shaving his head? Like, what's going on, or what happened, or, you know, it doesn't make any sense why we would be seeing that. And then as we see the episode through, we're shown 3 vantage points, or 3 different points with the characters. We have Andrea and Daryl near the RV that go for a walk, basically, to try to find Sophia, because they can't sleep because Carol's crying so much. Then the other spot we have is at Herschel's house with Carl, who's, of course, needs surgery very, very quickly, very soon. And then we have Shane and Otis, which is obviously the most exciting one, as they're off trying to get the respirator and the rest of the stuff that Herschel's going to need to be able to make a good stab at saving Carl. With the out of chronological order, it really makes us, we kind of have this sense of like mystery halfway through as to what's going on with Shane and Otis. Shane's back now, but what happened? How did he get back? Because last time we saw him, he was being chased by this, herd of zombies, basically. So then when there's the big reveal at the end, and you see Jon Bernthal's acting is really incredible here, I think, because he's kind of telling them, he's kind of making Otis out to sound like he's a hero when he first gets there, and that he sacrificed himself and he got swarmed, basically, to cover him. But you can kind of tell with the acting, it's like he's shocked and he's shock-faced, and he's telling it like that, and it's kind of like you got an idea that based on the acting, and this is how well he portrays it, that he's lying. He's acting to give the lines, but in a way that makes it look like the character's lying. It's really incredible. Then, of course, we get the final flashback with the reveal that that's exactly what happened, that he did shoot him in the leg and leave him there while the zombies devoured him in what would be a brutal death, to be eaten alive by dozens of zombies. Just terrible. So this one for me this is one of the best. This is one of the best, and this really shows a lot of differences between where the show was at then and what they did with it there and how they handled it, and now, where it had a very, very character-centric, character-focused direction at that point, especially on Shane at that time, and the more action-oriented approach that season 3 took, and then past there in season 4, how we kind of got a little bit back to that, but still had a lot of action in between. So it's good all the way through. I'm not saying that one is better than another, but I definitely can see if some people, this was their favorite time for The Walking Dead, because we had that sort of, that caring, that emotional, character-driven, focused story that we haven't really had as much the last couple seasons, I want to say. I didn't get as much charge out of, for example, Andrea's death, let's say, in season 3 at the end of that, as I did in this, where you have that kind of, that twist and that really character-centric, like, holy shit, look what Shane has done, look what he's become, looking at himself in the mirror. You just really get that character-centric type of story, and it's really incredible. It kind of reminds me of Breaking Bad, the way they show things out of chronological order. When it's done properly, it's brilliant, for a TV episode. It's just absolutely brilliant. And it's something I wish they would do a lot more. I've even seen that in Fargo, where you have this washing machine that keeps shaking, and they focus on that, and then it's like, why are we focused on that? And then later on, we get to kind of see how this inanimate, this inanimate machine, this object, really becomes like a focal point for the story due to what happens around it and what happens with it. So it's really brilliant to see in a TV series, and this is pretty much the only time The Walking Dead does that for the most part, or in this capacity. They've done some other little things like that. They've shown some flashback sequences, but this right here was really incredible the way they did this, and I loved it a lot. So if you're a fan of Shane, this has got to be one of your favorite episodes, no doubt, and it is one of my favorites for sure. It's kind of one I kind of forgot about now because it's so far back to the beginning. But right around here is where The Walking Dead became my favorite series ever. Season 1 was great. Don't get me wrong, it was incredible. But right here was like, wow. This is when I really was just blown away with the series and what they did with Shane. It was really incredible. Compared to the comic book counterpart for him, oh man, Jon Bernthal Shane is way better than the comic book version. Just to see that progression and how he kind of came to that dark side, and how taking a man's life like that, as you do, if you do that, it's easier to do it a second time, and it's easier to do it going forward. And it also, because he saves Carl in the mix, he was considering leaving, of course, the group, and by saving him, Laurie's like, stay. So it really adds to that whole love triangle thing, where Laurie, she loves both Rick, of course, because he's her husband originally, and she loves Shane too because he has saved Carl, and he has taken care of her in the zombie apocalypse, which obviously is not easy to do. So it really does a lot of things for the story that's really, really incredible. So in addition to that, it also, of course, has some great action sequences as they're getting trapped, sort of. This is kind of like a understanding where the characters don't really have an understanding that if they fire their weapons in a zombie apocalypse, you're luring others to you. The sound is going to draw more in. And what happens is with Shane and Otis, they start firing on zombies, and before you know it, there's more zombies, and then there's more, and then there's more. And there just always seems to be more coming because they keep firing, they keep drawing in more, they they keep running, and they're just kind of inexperienced. It doesn't even seem like they have knives. It doesn't seem like they have any kind of, even though Carl did find those earlier on in the season in the premiere, like the machete and the knives and stuff, it doesn't seem like they have them. If Shane had a knife here, it could be very useful to him for killing some walkers, hand to hand. Someone like Michonne has a sword, right? She can easily kind of kill walkers one at a time, stay silent, stay quiet, and move through crowds. But before that, they didn't have an understanding that if they're going to be firing off guns, it's a net, like Eugene describes in the comic book. Inside that sound, that's created, all the other zombies are going to come. Also, the blast shot is also going to draw more in. It's going to cause more and more to come if you don't get out of there really quickly. And we get to see that. So it's kind of an inexperienced Shane and Otis as they're going through here, not knowing that they shouldn't really be firing their guns at all, because if they do, they're just going to be asking for tons of trouble, which is what happens. And it's very exciting how they get kind of trapped in a spot. They break windows, they try to get out, and no matter what, they're still being chased. So very exciting in terms of their vantage point. Also, we have with Rick and Laurie, kind of Laurie questioning whether or not she even wants Carl to survive, even wants him to survive in the zombie apocalypse, which I thought was some interesting questions. It kind of relates back to the whole gender thing in season 1 with opting out and whether or not you would want him to grow up in that kind of a world. And she decides in the end, with Rick's, convincing her sort of loosely that it is worth it. They should save Carl because, Rick still has hope, even though Laurie has almost entirely lost hope. In addition to that, we had the cool little scene with Daryl and Andrea with the hanging zombie, and Daryl wastes a bolt or an arrow to put it down at Andrea's request, which kind of a waste, but that's what she wants. And her also, the same kind of theme, doesn't really know if she wants to survive or not, but I guess in the end she decides because of habit or whatever. She doesn't know, but she's going to anyway regardless. And Dale gives her gun back. So all in all, one of the best character development episodes ever, brilliantly shot, adds to the love triangle, and since Shane, of course, is not in the show anymore, if you want to watch some episodes or the best of moments for Shane or Jon Bernthal's character Shane, this is definitely one of the ones you have to watch. This is like right up there with 18 Miles Out and the final Better Angels, the close to the finale there, second last episode. It's incredible. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know what you think about the throwback in terms of today's episodes that we're getting compared to something like this. This was pretty masterful, hard to beat. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I thought the episode was perfect, incredible. It's crazy that they did this with such a low budget, because it's one of the best episodes. It's scary, it's dark, you got zombies all over the place, inexperienced survivors, really amazing stuff. Perfect episode. If you guys like the review, if you like the throwback review, thumb it up below. If you're watching the Dead, White, and Blue Weekend, let me know what you guys think about that. And if you want to help support the channel, share it. Share it on your Facebook or whatever you use, social media. And I'll see you guys for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.